We've got Maction.
That is for sure. Colt Yinger alongside Isaiah Lyle here in your broadcast booth, as Aranda does have 2-0 over Meek already in the few times they've matched up. You can see that he is trying to work and make that 3-0 quick.
Yeah, Aranda's done a very nice job of starting off hot here. He jumps out to a quick early attack, goes just front headlock, snap down, and got really physical with Meek there. Had his shoulder in a bad kind of way, but Meek gives up the takedown, and it'll be a 3-0 lead here for Ben Aranda, who, as you mentioned, is a familiar opponent of Ryan Meek to start.
As Aranda continues to work on top.
If you're Ryan Meek here, you got 2 minutes left in this first period. Really got to hustle, try to get your escape back. Sometimes when a guy starts off as quickly as Aranda did, and in boxing we'd say hits you in the face that quickly, it kind of gives you a little bit of a shell shock feeling. But getting that next point, getting your escape, and kind of resetting, taking a deep breath, can really kind of reset the match and take things in a different direction. But if you're Ben Aranda as well, you've got a chance here early on to really give the Vikings a big lead here starting the duel off. And I'm sure, as we mentioned last broadcast, the Bobcats tried to pull or tried to get a starting weight class elsewhere, and maybe that didn't. So for the Vikings, really trying to jump out to a big lead would be really big. And as I say that, Aranda lets go of Meek and gets right back in on a knee pull single leg there. And now we see Meek in the front headlock.
The optional start made it easy for Meek, and he's got to work his short offense here, the sophomore out of Lovering, Missouri.
And now Meek's in and on a nice single leg here. Aranda has the back ankle.
Meek's got his head buried on the inside there.
I like how Meek's finishing this, though. He's got to really take his time. If he can get that left foot back, and it looks like, he got really close there. Now he wants to sit into Aranda. He's going to start to get a neutral danger count. 1, 2.
He ended up saying the 2 didn't count there. The ref certainly moved the hand, but didn't say full 2. But now a better chance for it does Ryan Meek.
And he's going to get near. It's a 3 count for the neutral danger.
And still didn't give it to him. Coach Greenlee starting to getting upset about it on that side, as that was close.
Yeah, this is a really big scramble here. Meek looks really good in this scramble and definitely has a favorable position over Aranda right now. As you now see, Aranda, the lock breaks. Meek really needs to hustle, try to go behind to the left there.
He's keeping that near ankle as Aranda's now locked on his single leg. We're sitting at under 30 seconds to go, period number 1. And they're going to get stalemate and restart it with 23.
Great scramble there off both guys. And we're going to see a replay here of the neutral danger. And you can see the ref gets to 1, 2, and he's looking for the 3rd. He started it but didn't get to it. So
Derek Rake, Austin Starr, certainly disagreeing in the back, as it looks like both guys ready to go to the second period here. Under 10 to go, just locking up. But a good slide-by attempt from Meek.
Yeah, Meek did a great job of doing kind of exactly what I said there at the beginning of the period. Aranda gave him the escape instead of him maybe earning it. But you could see kind of, settled in a little bit. He got into a wrestling position there, and I think that kind of backed Aranda off a little bit. You could see there the last 15 seconds didn't come as hard as maybe he did to start. So that can definitely change the whole tone of the match here moving forwards.
Riding time not really a factor, but Meek certainly trying to take away the 40 seconds that was still there. Big mat return, and he looks like he's got a boot in and maybe a half and a wrist.
Yeah, this is a great position for Meek, and that was a nice job on a mat return. That's the kind of little stuff in wrestling that's really important, is winning those little positions that, hey, you mat return Aranda maybe once, maybe twice. You can get a guy to kind of give in to you a little bit here, and then now he finds himself in a really good position with a boot in, far knee across that hip, and a great opportunity to maybe score here.
Certainly continuing to work that riding time down. He's going to put it in his favor with about a minute to go in your second period. Ryan Meek thought there might be bonus standing here at 125, but he's saying not so fast. So now he's starting to get the hips over.
Yeah, and Aranda really doesn't have much movement on the bottom as of right now. He really needs to work to get both legs to the center. If I'm Aranda, I'm going to probably try to crawl forwards a little bit. And as I say that, we're going to see a stall call on Ben Aranda off the bottom. But he needs to crawl forwards, get his knee below that leg of Meek, and then he can slide both knees to the center. But having Meek with your hip kind of locked out there in that position, you're not going to be able to move much.
He's going to get hit with another before this period's over. 35 on the clock. Officials crawling down there, but he did finally find his knees, so that might be just enough to keep him safe for this period.
Yeah, Aranda in better position here now. He needs to really take advantage of this, and now he's to his feet. He sits out. Now he's in on a single leg looking reversal, just gets his escape. Smart wrestling there by Aranda not to give up, a no score position with short time left. That was a sticky situation where you get stalemated there and don't get your escape. That really changes things. So good on him. But Ryan Meek with a nice second period, giving himself 54 seconds of riding time, and I think changes the landscape of this whole match.
As quickly here just horses him around, does Ben Aranda, until he finally finds a space big enough for his go behind. And then the big mat return there in that second period kind of changed the feeling of the match a little bit.
Yeah, I think, like you said, Isaiah, what felt like bonus points maybe coming for Aranda early on, really, tone changed by Meek with a big mat return, a nice scramble in the first period. And it's those little wrestling positions in between the scores that make a big difference. And as I say that, Meek hustles to get his escape, and we're sitting at 4-2 with 1:30 to go here in the first match of the night.
Aranda tried to throw the boot in, got a little high. Meek did a great job shimmying him right out. And now we're just a takedown to win it here. Third period, just under 1:30. And Ryan Meek just sitting at 1-2 on the season. It's been a tough start for the Bobcat lightweights. He's got a chance to pick up a MAC win.
Yeah, and clearly, Meek can scramble with Aranda, but they can both scramble in those positions, and I think that was very time-consuming there in the second. So if you're Meek, you got to get in on a leg attack of your own and finish quickly. I think Aranda might have a little bit more power once he does get to those legs. So which guy's going to pull the trigger first? Aranda doesn't have to, so Meek has to find that opportunity here, and he's got to do it sooner than later because he's down to 45 seconds left, and if we get into a scramble, that could be costly.
Now Aranda starts to play from the knee. Playing defense in the best way possible. He's not backing up, standing in the middle, but he's not doing a lot.
Yeah, you can tell he really likes to be in that underhook, overhook kind of position there from their feet, and that's what's really slowing Meek down. I think Meek needs to try to clear these ties and wrestle from space here. As you can see, he took a shot from space there, but he immediately rushes right back into an overhook, and that's not going to do him any good. He does get the stall call. Now it's 4-3.
With 10 seconds to go, not going to find a way to another one, so you're just going to have to find a way to a leg.
Yeah, and Aranda's going to get a takedown there on a last-ditch effort by Ryan Meek, but I think the big story there late was that Aranda was able to control ties and get to his positions that he felt really comfortable in, and Meek just kind of stayed in those positions instead of maybe wrestling from space and forcing some action from other areas.
The Vikings go ahead and take a 3-0 lead with just a decision there, 7-3. And we move to 133 pounds. And for the Bobcats, you get to see the Clarion